Hello, family. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E, the Dividend Passport Bro, back with another video. Guys, and as always, this is not financial advice. I'm just a 52-year-old man that's making videos about my portfolio and my portfolio alone. So, guys, with that being said, let's get down to it. So, the new subscribers, if you are here, that means you are here because you saw one of my videos about my investments and you said, oh, this guy's making a lot of money. Let's see what he's doing. If I'm doing the right thing or if I'm doing the wrong thing. But you see right here, this is my disclaimer, okay? This is not financial advice. Do your own research. If you need to reach me, you can send an email to dividendpassportbro@gmail.com, and I will check emails. When I do, I will respond. I usually try to check my emails weekly, so you will get a response from me right away. Okay, guys. We got 2,240 plus subscribers on our way to 3,000 subs. We have over 270 plus videos on this channel about investments and not only stock or ETFs, but also real estate. Now, I do tend to throw a little bit of real estate stuff in the videos when I'm doing my weekend conversation video like today, or when I'm whatever I'm doing. I feel like when it hit me, it goes in there, right? Because like I say all the time, this is not scripted. This is just whatever's going on with me at the time and with my portfolio, with my investments is what I talk about. So guys, let's get down to business because I always like to say business is booming. So guys, I just came back from Barranquilla. I spent 2 days in Barranquilla and I had an amazing time. Now, surprisingly, what was that? Yesterday was like Women's Day worldwide, right? So of course, well, I guess it's in Latin America, but all the people, women that I know in Latin America, I wish them happy International Women's Day yesterday. And then my friend in Barranquilla, I took her out to eat dinner with her mother, her niece, and 2 kids. So we had a great time. Now, guys, dinner for 6 people at a 5-star restaurant, right? We had the only thing we didn't have was dessert, but we had full-course meal. They had 2 glasses of wine each. The kids had 2 drinks each. They only wanted one, but I made sure they had 2 each. And I had my one mango. Well, they didn't have mango. I had another fruit drink. And at the end of the day, guys, okay, 6 people, full-course meal, $152. Okay, 150. I think it was less than because it was like I think it was less than $152 because it was like 5,000, 500 something thousand pesos, right? So that was less than $152. But that's just my calculation in my head. But the overall amount was a lot less. Okay, guys. So, and this is living overseas, right? Can you imagine me taking 6 people, including myself, to a 5-star restaurant in these United States? I would come back by spending about $2,000, not hundreds of dollars. I might spend $2,000 after the drink 2 glasses of wine each. The wine's gonna be like $25, $30 a pop. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the wine that they order. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to share that with you guys, so you can know. Like I always talk about this. Look, if you make a lot of money in the U.S. and you can afford to live outside of the U.S., your dollars can go a long way. It can go a long way. And also, when I was down there, guys, the main reason I went down there, I had no idea about this Women's Day, none of this stuff. The main reason I went to Barranquilla was to look at some investment properties, right? I want to get another property out there, and I looked at 6 property yesterday. The first 4 was very small, tiny, by the size of my bedroom in the United States. Okay, and that was too small. The second unit that I looked at was, I mean, the one that I really like. It was not close to the beach, but you could see the beach from where the property was. And it's on the 7th floor. The only thing I did not like about the property is what is on the side of the pool. I usually like to be on the back end, you know, to where I'm not dealing with the pool noise, because out here in Colombia, the kids go to school. They start classes at 6 in the morning, and they get out of school at 12 noon, and then the second tier of kids go to school at 12, and they get out at 6. So during the school year, um, they don't really spend a lot of time on the pool. Maybe like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they will be at the pool, but that's on the weekend. But on the weekday, let's say if they're out of school, they're going to be in the pool all day. They're playing basketball, running around, making a lot of noise. So I like to be on the other side, away from the pool, so I don't have to deal with that noise. Whatever noise I would normally get would be maybe some birds or maybe a car or something like that. But the way this apartment is built, they're still doing some constructions in the back. But the apartment is in a good area, and the price is phenomenal. The apartment was priced at 278 million pesos. 278 million pesos, Colombian pesos. That is about like 70 something, 60 something dollars, 60 some $1,000, right? Um, I did the calculation yesterday. That's just like that's less than 75K. Just be, because let's say if we get to 300, that's about 75K. Okay, but it's three is less, right? So 300, 300, 300 million. Am I saying it right? Pesos. So it's less than $75,000 for the 3 bedroom. It's 3 bedroom, 3 bath. It's on the 7th floor. It's pretty modernized. Now the bathroom, excuse me, y'all. The bathroom's gonna need some work. They got one bathroom got some red tiles. The other bathroom got some green tiles in it, and it didn't look good at all, right? It need to be redone. Let me pull up some videos for you guys so you can see. All right, guys. So I was trying to get some pictures for you guys to show you guys. But before I do that, let me get the video, right? Let me bring out the video that I did when I was down there. Now this is just a little, like I said, it's a 3 bedroom. If I can move this stuff over. All right. So this is a 3 bedroom apartment. This is the video, and then this is a condo, right? That's the entrance, and then this is the kitchen. It's kind of small. They got the refrigerator over there, and back here where you can put like a stackable. Usually they have like the one washing machine. They usually hang the clothes dry. The kitchen, that countertop space. There's a big drawer in the back there. I didn't get the video of that. That is, I mean, that can be removed and make the ocean is back there. I was telling you guys. That can be removed and make more space. Like that whole wall right there, most of that wall can be taken down. And this is like a little office nook, so I can set up my office stuff right there. It's an extra space. You can build a closet the way you can store stuff, especially if I'm going to rent it on Airbnb. I can store stuff in there. This is the bathroom. That gray wall is a small shower. That's the second bathroom in the apartment. There's 3 bathrooms. One half bath and 2 full bath, right? So this is the master, and this the red. It's an easy fix, right? To change the tile on the wall, and the room is a good size. You can put a queen size bed in there, and there's the 2 big closets to the side, so it can take a queen size bed and the air conditioning unit go in there. The closet look a little dusty, they need to be refinished, and they got all these other stuff over there. All those things can come out, and you can put another set of closets there. It's a waste of space because you're not going to put a television over there. So that space you can put another closet in that space to hang more clothes. And guys, like I said, it's a big apartment, right? It's probably like 1,200 square feet, maybe a little bit more. For Colombia standards, that's big. And then there's a little bird over
Guys,
there
I'm
living rent
sharing
free
already.
right now, a pigeon. Um, because nobody lived in the
And
apartment. I don't know how long the
houses,
apartment been vacant, but
very
they live
little parking
there. And then
space.
downstairs they have like what they call a house, but we call
And
those kind of
then
like duplex, right?
overall on the other side, the parking
Um,
lot are very small. Supermarket over
but you
there.
see all those units down there, they call those a house, right? But in the U.S., we call those like duplexes. Now these are the pictures. Of course, the lighting can be changed. Basic lightings can make a place a lot nicer. Colors can be changed, to make the place a lot nicer. But that's about that. So I wanted to share with you guys my trip because usually, I tell people, "Oh, I'm doing this." It'd be like, "Oh man, Edwin, you ain't doing nothing. You just running around chasing after girls." At least that's what my daughter mom, that's what she thinks. Every time I travel, I'm just chasing after girls. I'm like, even though I don't have to explain myself, sometimes is what I have to deal with. But guys, so this is some of the things I've been doing, right? So as I'm building generational wealth, right? The goal, right, is simple: to be able to transition from the U.S. as best as I can. Now, I'm trying to get full custody of my daughter. If her mom can give me full custody, I will spend a little bit more time in the U.S., especially when she's in school. Now, if I can get full custody of my daughter, then I will spend more time in Colombia so I can be closer to her. That way, I get to see her, every at least once or twice a week, because I can afford it, and because I can have multiple properties in Colombia. I can afford to have multiple properties in Colombia. Take for example, my house alone. If I sell my house, I can buy like six properties in Colombia just by selling my one house in the U.S. or selling my one condo in the U.S. I can take that money and I can buy three properties in Colombia. So, and a property this size, right, in their price range, 75,000, and the other property that I looked at, which I didn't upload the pictures, was kind of tiny. Those were like in the $50,000 range, right? So that's for smaller family startup, what we can consider a startup home in the U.S. Um, they have open parking space. You can park your car anywhere. 12-story building. Um, they kind of pack them in their smaller rooms. But everybody can afford a decent place to live. But right now, every time I buy a place, I'm like, okay, if I'm there, good. If I'm there 1 week, 2 weeks, that's fine. If I'm not there 1 week, 2 weeks, at least I can rent it out. My house in the U.S., I have people that go and check on the house, do all the other stuff, but I'm not there. And I'm paying light, water, gas, security system, all that kind of stuff. But and when I'm home, nobody know because my car is still in the same position. I already just drive my Tesla, so I only pull it in and out of the garage. So nobody know when I'm home or I'm not home, except if I tell you guys, right? Um, the fact is, guys, when you decide to move abroad, if you decide to move abroad, if there's something that you want to do, right? Um, Having that mindset, being open. I think the first thing that I had to learn when I came here was understanding the culture, right? Being able to deal with people because people do certain things that sometimes it can be very annoying. And if you're not a patient person, you could be like, I'm 6'2", so I'm not a little tiny guy per se. But I mean, for Colombia, I'm a pretty big guy. For the US, I'm just average, right? But for Colombia, I'm a big guy. And sometimes I would go into places and I'll be talking to a person and somebody else would just cut in front of me, right? And see me talking to a person and start asking them questions. And in the beginning, I was like, what the hell is going on? This is some crazy stuff. Why would you want to talk to the person if you see me already talking to the person? But like I said, that's just how things are here. So it took me a while. It took me a while to understand that. I'm trying to find a picture for this kitchen. It took me a while to understand that. And I wanted to show you guys this kitchen again because in the video, you can't really tell. Right? So this kitchen right here, this is a stove. This is a place there, and somebody said the kitchen is small. Not you guys, but somebody who I share the pictures with. They said the kitchen is small. Then up here, I don't remember. I think that's just a closet, a drawer right there. Here will be the refrigerator, and around this corner is where the washer and dryer will go. So you see this right here is then over here is where they have like a little laundry space, which I will put like a door here to kind of close that space out. But right here, this drawer is I think is good, is useful. But this space right here, there's drawers on the bottom here. So I think this space and a bunch of drawers here. So this space here, I don't think is useful to me because I can move this space back in here to store stuff that would not be needed because I'm gonna get a stackable washer and dryer, not just a what they use here standard. And then this space right here, this wall I believe is not a load bearing wall, but the engineer will come to have to come. If they say this wall is not a load bearing wall, which is very tiny wall, then we'll remove this entire wall, right? And then this will be like a kind of like my condo here, my apartment here. It will be a place where we can have sit down and eat with stools, right? And that will have more space. Where is it? Not that picture, guys. That's something crazy. I was making a joke with somebody. Let me move this out the way because I don't know what's gonna come up. Oh, come on now. All right, can I move it? Move myself. All right, there we go. I don't. Man, I was hoping to get that back end of the wall. Let me see. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back.
Here are here are four
All
undervalued
right,
stocks.
that's not it. But I was trying to get the back end of the wall so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so guys, I know this video is different from the video I would normally do on Sunday. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, right? Because there's so many options out here in Colombia. Now people are like, oh, it's crazy. I mean, everywhere is dangerous. So you just gotta be careful, you gotta be mindful of your surroundings. But there's areas that you will go to, like where I had dinner last night. We had dinner outside, right? There was inside. They were playing live music inside. Classical stuff on the piano and sax and all the other stuff. And they didn't want to be bothered with the noise. We had the kids, so we sat outside and had dinner. And people walking out with their phones in their hand, all that stuff, comfortable setting. And then other places you will go, I would say, look, put your phone. Even when we were leaving, the kid had her phone up in her hand, looking at something before we crossed the street. I was like, look, put your phone in your pocket because anybody can drive by on a motorcycle and snatch your phone. So it's just being aware. Over here, I can walk around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning with my phone in my hand and don't have to worry about anything. It just depending on where you live and where you at. Okay, guys. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm here to motivate people to invest. And also, I live outside the U.S. most of the time. I believe it's a little bit over 6 months a year. I have another investment property that I looked at the last time when I was in the Dominican Republic. And then I'm planning to go back again, maybe in 2 weeks before I go back to the U.S., before I pick up my daughter to go and look at the property again because some questions I asked, they're not answering the questions. And I need to make sure it's what we talk about is what I'm getting because the property is already started a construction, and I want to know if there's enough space to where I can either build, around what's already there, or I have to break it down and then build or just build above it, which is what I would like to do, another 4 or 5 stories, and make it an apartment to where it can either be rented or Airbnb when people is not there. When I'm not there, I would have my own apartment there also. That would not be rented, but it will be maintained by, the property manager there. And, those kind of things, right? Guys, it is so much going on outside the U.S. with all of this tariffs and all this other stuff that's going on right now. The poor people are the one that are going to suffer. The rich, they can afford to handle this, right? They can afford to deal with this stuff. They can balance out their portfolio. They can lose some money that they're gonna write off and get back in taxes in other ways. But if you were poor, you have no idea on how to do those kind of things. You have no idea on how to take tax losses, right? And get that money back. You don't have any idea. So how are you going to do something where you don't know? So guys, you have to understand you need to learn a lot of stuff. So every time I will learn something or find out new information, I'll usually bring it on to you guys onto this channel. So if you are listening when I'm having these conversations out here, and you can do your own research and look into it. If it benefits you and your family, you go ahead and do it. Now, I usually say family is my kids and my extended family. Those are my siblings and my aunties, my aunts, cousins, all the stuff. Those are my extended family. Because whatever I have right now, if something was to happen to me, that will go to my children. It's not going to my auntie or my uncle or my brother. It's going to my kids. The same for them. If something happened to my brother, my the will that was read, my sister-in-law, they did all that between she and her children. We had no idea what happened. Whatever my brother put in the will, we didn't even see that. Right? They did that between them. They kept us out of it. They're like, oh, this is my immediate family only. And we're like, you know what? You guys do what you gotta do. Just we're not immediate family, we just brothers and sisters. Okay? So guys, you gotta think about you and your kids, what you're gonna do for them. And the funny thing is, after a year and a half, 2 years, all that money is gone, right? All the money my brother left for them, seems like most of that stuff is gone already because we don't teach our kids how to invest. So if they inherit anything, they're gonna go to that mindset of, oh, we gotta buy a car, we gotta buy clothes, and all this other stuff that is useless, right? Stuff that you're gonna wear 3 or 4 times and it look like crap. This T-shirt, right? I've been wearing the same T-shirt for almost 5 years, and I love this T-shirt, right? I wash it, I keep it clean, and I wear it. Do I care about what people think about my clothing? No. Even the woman I was dating, she told me, Edwin, you need to get some more clothes. I said, do you need some money? She said, yeah. I said, do you think if I'm buying more clothes and spending money on myself, you think I will have more money to give to you? She's like, I don't know. I said, exactly. I said, because if I was just into myself and not into investing to getting where I'm at now, I won't have money to give to anybody. I would not even have a penny to rub together to leave for my kids if something would have happened to me. I won't be able to pay for my daughter's tuition. I'll be like, yo, baby girl, you got to figure that out on your own. That a lot of parents do to their kids, right? But you have to be able to balance out your lifestyle. No, don't get me wrong. I do have some nice clothes, but I don't like to wear them. I like to be simple because the only reason you guys know that I have anything is because of YouTube. If you was to see me on the street, even in the US, if I get out of my Tesla in the US, I got on my $20, $30 shoes, my $40 pair of shoes, tennis shoes on, and my basic shirt and stuff like that. That's just me. I feel comfortable like that. Now, if I were to go out and need to be wearing a suit, yes, I got a bunch of suits. I got like 8 or 9 pairs of nice suits, custom made suits just for me that fit me nicely. Sometimes they get a little tight. I got to get back in the gym and work out and get that and get a little trim. But I got those specially cut made for me, nice. So every year or so, I would make one or two suits, right? Because I don't need a lot of them. And out here, it is too hot. I was out there yesterday, right? And they said that the lady like the sun burns. And I was like, yeah, it's hot. The sun burns. But what I didn't understand is what she was saying, the sun, and she said, Pika is going to bite you hot, right? And I was out there and that stuff, I was out there a little bit longer and I was like, man, this stuff is burning like something is actually biting me. But it was the sun. It was so, so hot. So, and these guys wear a long sleeve shirt if they're out there all day to kind of keep the sun from, burning them up. But for me, I mean, 20 minutes out there is like being out there for 3, 4 days. I get a little crispy and everything else. I'm already, crispy, but I get crispier. So, guys, with that being said, I want to leave this with you guys, right? To this video, like I said, is completely different videos. And I told you guys from time to time, I will be bringing more real estate stuff because this is an investment channel. Not only about stocks and whatnot, but this is retiring early, investing in your future. And investing in your future is not only about stocks. Now, the way we invest, it will allow us to generate income to pay for our lifestyle. Now, I'm getting up in that range, right? I'm trying to get to 60 grand a year. When I can get to 60 grand a month, right? Not a year, 60 grand a month. If I can get to 60 grand a month, of course, getting to 100 will be even faster because I don't need a lot of money. Of course, like I was telling you guys, I can invest in other things. My friends were telling me today, we're talking, they're like, man, he asked me for a recommendation, and I recommended a couple places for them to go eat in another city. We should have people in that city. And he like, man, thanks to Edwin, I was able to get this recommendation. The place was good. They had a good time. The food was good. They got good seafood. And the food was pretty good. I had the food there. I enjoyed it and everything else. And it feels good when you can go places and share that with other people who also love to travel. And that place is like freaking mountains, a lot of mountains. I'm afraid of heights. So especially if I'm driving. If somebody else driving me, I am fine. But when I'm driving, I get that cold sweat and stuff like that. Hey, it's just me, bro. Okay, I can fly all day, every day. A plane dropping up and down. Yeah, you get a little knot in your stomach because the plane's been falling from the sky a lot lately. But other than that, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? But with this place, it is beautiful, and the cost of living there is not bad, right? For me, when I go places like that, I like to know what the farmers market is, because with the farmers market, you can get fresh chicken, fresh beef, fresh anything at a decent price that you would get from the supermarket. And some people, when they make a little bit of money, they want to show off, so they want to go to the supermarket, spend $1,000, whatever. That's not me. Okay, that is not me. If I'm cooking from home, I want to eat the best thing for a good price. Okay, that's it. So eventually, I might end up buying an apartment out there also, because you know after the second time, the third time there, I'm like, okay, you know what? I can get used to this, right? Even though the second time I was in the car, someone driving me, so it was different. But my first time there, I drove myself, so it was like I was scared, you know. But guys, I'm yapping as always. Guys, thank you again for liking and sharing the content. So I wanted to go through this real quick, right? The portfolio went down a big time. You see the portfolio overall across the board. My portfolio is down $138,000, right? And people complaining about, oh, I'm down 3 grand. No, in the last 2 weeks, my portfolio is down 138 grand, right? So when we get a little dividend, 20, 30 grand dividend that come in for that month, it's just going back to build the portfolio back up. Because who know how long all this stuff going on gonna be in the impact it's gonna have on this portfolio. So I gotta make sure to stay afloat, right? I gotta be ahead of whatever's going on, and I need to let more cash sit in the portfolio. That's why I tell you guys I gotta stop buying. I'm still gonna buy, but instead of the portfolio growing to where we at $600,000 in income, we might be at 610, 650. I mean, not 610, 550, 560. But gradually, until the market is trying to settle itself down, and we can have a bunch of money in there. So if I have a surplus of 30, 40 grand, I can spend 10 until the next month and spend another 10, but keep a surplus, right? And then when I get to the point where I need to, guess what we're going to do? We're going to be paying off some margins in Robinhood. I'm going to make the adjustment to my portfolio, like I showed you guys before, to where the portfolio, when you look at the portfolio, where's my boys in the hood here? Robinhood. Now, I need to get this M1 out of here because there's nothing in there. I haven't updated anything in this portfolio for a while. You can see this portfolio down. We're down about, like they said, 50,000. But keep in mind, I sold all of the what you call it, crypto out of this portfolio. So of course that's gonna look like that too. Um, but this portfolio right now is estimated to generate. $8,000 a month, 1,900 a week, daily $273 a day. Now, this is a lot of money just on a daily basis. Okay, and this one here should be gone. There should be nothing in there, but it's still showing stuff. I don't know why, so I need to remove that from the portfolio. Fidelity, let's see, and this is 3 grand a month, 6,000, almost 7,000 a week, $9,000. I mean $900 daily, hourly $43, and this is my Charlie Swab. So as you can see, guys, look at that daily, $21 a day. Now in Colombia here, the average daily salary is about what about 50 something 60,000 pesos, right? 60,000 pesos about $15, um not on the higher end, right? A day. Most people um out here don't even make that much. Okay. So I know my girl makes about, she's a nurse, so she makes almost um like $10, $15 a day, right? A day, not hour. She makes that much a day. Um, so can you imagine, right? Just this little portfolio here, right? If let's say I live here, I live here, and this portfolio generating a monthly income of $646 a month. This is estimated, but in Colombia, this is double the minimum salary, right? The minimum salary is like 1.2 million pesos, right? So in this case, this is like almost uh 3 million, 4 million pesos. Okay. This is like almost 3 million pesos right there. So that's like, you know, double, right? More than double the minimum salary in Colombia. So there's a lot of people, a lot of people. Somebody told me today, she's like, yesterday said, my boyfriend make 30 million pesos a month. I was like, okay, what your boyfriend do? And then he said to me, I look him up. I'm like, okay, your boyfriend make this much. I said, your boyfriend maybe make $2,000 a month based on what he does. What he makes in the month, I make that in a day. But guys, I can be petty sometimes if people mess with me, okay? I can be petty sometimes when people mess with me. Because it took me a long time to get to where I'm at. And for people who already know me, they know I'm an asshole. Okay? I'm nice. I can be an asshole. And I can be very, very mean when somebody cross me. I'm nice, period. But if you cross me, boy, I'm coming for you. So guys, but this is a financial channel, right? This is not about you messing with me, and I mean I'm coming for you. I mean cybersecurity. So I just need basic information to find out who you are, and the rest is history. Okay, guys. So I usually don't do this on Sunday, but you can see the estimated income into the annual income into the portfolio, and this is growing gradually, right? So by the end of this month, at some point we might be at 550. If we can, like I said, we're going to increase the income very little at a time, not a lot, because we got stuff that automatically reinvest, going to be reinvested into the portfolio. We got stuff that we do manually, but this month, right? I'm gonna pull a little bit out of this portfolio to pay some bills. I'm gonna pull a little bit out of the portfolio to set aside for my daughter tuition. And so next term, if she decides to go to summer school or whatever, I will have the funds there. I don't have to wait to transfer and all this stuff. And it's still gonna be collecting interest. And then she told me yesterday that she's like, Daddy, I think I'm gonna need some tutor with my math. I'm gonna have an issue with math. I'm like, girl, you know what? Find you a tutor and see if they can tutor you. I don't know if you need an hour, a week, or whatever you need to do. Let me know and we'll figure it out. Okay, guys. I keep saying this. I'm yapping too much, and I keep yapping. I'm continuing to yap. Right? Sometimes I don't know when to shut up. Okay, but we down here to 42. Then look at this number. I think the number looked amazing. 7,633,114 dollars in 10 years, guys. In 10 years, we're gonna be doing things like bosses. Now sometimes I'm like, what? I don't even need to worry about buying a place right now because in a year or 2 years from now, I will have surplus of cash and I can buy whatever I want. But sometimes I just like to do things my way, and sometimes my way can be the hard way. Okay, guys. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. I love you guys. We're gonna do it again tomorrow. Hopefully, the market come in and give us some good things with all of the stuff that's going on that keeping the market down. We're not gonna quit. We're gonna continue to do what we do and continue to invest. I hope this helps somebody. Okay. If not, we do it tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we're gonna do something else that's gonna help you guys. I love you guys. Peace out.